Welcome to World Events in the Bible. I'm Brandon T. Ward. Hey, this COVID thing apparently is not going to let up, right? We all been watching it for quite a while now. So COVID, where is it going? Where is it going? The mainstream media, all they seem to really pump out there is that people are going to die or, some horrible thing if they catch COVID. And yeah, some people are dying, but as the CDC has reported, and we've presented articles like that to you, that the main people who are primarily dying is those that have chronic health conditions or the elderly with chronic health conditions. Your everyday Joe, your average typical healthy person, they get COVID, yeah, it doesn't feel good, makes you sick and all this stuff, but you recover, you recover. It's kind of like if you ever had a really bad flu, I think maybe I had it like one time in my life, and yeah, it was miserable for a couple weeks, but you know what, I got better. I'm standing here right now talking to you, perfectly healthy, no problem. So, we don't lock down a country, we don't lock down a world, for these type of things. And so we just continue to be scared, over this. The fears attempted to be placed into the people, and some people truly are afraid. And then I see others who, they don the mask, but they really don't believe in it. They just do it because it kind of makes life easy, right? Kind of really interesting when you think about the Bible and Revelation there, when you think about that aspect of it, doing something because it makes it easier. But COVID, where is it going? We're constantly told, like we mentioned, you're going to die, this, that, and other thing. So we're just being scared. But let's stop looking at this from a momentary perspective, like this instant. What about 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 2, 3, 5 years down the road? What's the deal? How's this going to be fixed? No one's talking about that. Are we just going to forever keep stuff shut down? Are we just going to all walk around with masks every single day, like as if that would correct the problem? If you have dirty counters in your house, you wouldn't just wear gloves every day, right? You'd wipe them down, clean them up, whatnot. But no one's talking about the future. They're just talking about the present and to be afraid, and we have to close this down and shut that down, And that's the thing that kind of really tips me off to the agenda that is going on here. Because if our politicians and our, mainstream media and whatnot, and these big megacorps, if they were really concerned, people sit down when there's a problem in the business community and whatnot, and they fix a problem. I mean, that's how real life matters get solved. If you have family problems, you don't just dance around the bush and expect them to go away on their own. You got to take action. And government and whatnot, they're not taking action. All they're doing is saying, oh, wear a mask. Oh yeah, maybe this vaccine will come out and make everybody better. All it's going to do is make a certain amount of people filthy rich, and there will be side effects to the vaccine, because there always is. I mean, you guys have all seen the TV commercials for some pill that will get rid of your migraine headache, and then there's a guy who sounds like an auctioneer, may cause birth defects, this, that, and another thing. We've all seen that stuff. And as we presented an article to you, the 1970s swine flu vaccine, they put one out, and there was a lot of people, a lot of Americans that suffered these conditions that lasted for the rest of their life because they took a vaccine that they were told it was going to keep them healthy, and it actually destroyed their life. So vaccine, if you want to take one, go for it. I don't think I need one, so I'm not going to take anything like that. And it's not the answer anyway. You know why? Because we posted numerous articles from the mainstream media, from published reports, scientific reports that are saying that the COVID, people who catch COVID and recover from COVID, they actually can contract it again within a few months. So they're saying that the immunity doesn't last that long, which that's odd, because I think we've all kind of learned over the years that when you get sick, with something, your body builds immunity to it and you don't catch it again. So apparently COVID must be having these micro changes in it that allowing people to get sick again. But if you're going to tell me that I can get COVID and I'll recover and I can catch it again, then that tells me right there a vaccine's not going to do a lick of good. If you get that shot, then maybe you're okay for a couple of months, and then what, you're going to take another shot? Get out of town. I'm certainly not doing that. That's ridiculous, and that's not the answer to the problem here. The answer is, this is not a big problem like they're making it out to be. They're putting fear into the people for a desired reason. Look what's happening in all these small businesses. They're being destroyed, utterly destroyed. And these big megacorps, I'm sure they're going to come in there and snatch up whatever little ones they want. You see the Federal Reserve's buying corporate bonds now. The financial situation in the country and the world is it's horrible. It's horrible. We posted an article this morning here that GDP, I think it was like 331% the nations have spent already this year, on top of the debt they were already in before the COVID thing even happen. So it's not looking good. So I mean, again, we're not going to always wear a mask. That's not the solution. That's not the solution. So fear, guilt, and shame, really. Walmart just announced that they're going to, everybody has to wear a mask when they go in the store. So what it really is, and what I've seen, is we've kind of spent some time getting away from it all, kind of doing a little bit of camping trips. Yes, campgrounds are still open, depending on where you go, I guess. But people will roll in, nobody else is wearing a mask, and some people will wear a mask, right? And then they get to walking around and they see that nobody else is wearing masks, and suddenly their masks come off, So it's a psychological thing. People intimidate, or they kind of copy what they see. So if you're in a big city and everybody's wearing a mask, then it just feels like the right thing to do, that you should wear a mask. You turn on the television, you turn on your phone, and it tells you, text message comes in there, hey, you should wear a mask, or whatever latest news report there is. And you see people doing it. You go into a store, it has a sign that says you should wear one, whatnot. But when you're away from that, it's like that stuff doesn't exist, and it quickly vanishes from people's minds. So it's a huge psychological thing. I mean, when you step outside of maybe your normal box and try to understand what I'm explaining to you, but when people are not subjected to that, they're not bombarded with this constant, wear a mask, you're gonna die, corona, blah, 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 then they quickly relax and they take off the mask, and it's not a problem anymore. It may still be in the back of their head, but they see other people aren't doing it, therefore it is not a fear. So psychological conditioning going on, and especially for the reason I'm really making this video, is that nobody's talking about what happens 6 months, a year, 2, 3, 5 years down the road. We can't keep going like this. It's not going to work. And I think it all ties into Bible prophecy. I really do. I think it's about destroying the United States, which is the last free nation. I mean, it's the most blessed nation that has ever existed. And it's about destroying our nation. It is about destroying the entire world structure. We talked about it in an article titled The Planned Financial Collapse of the World. Pull that up on our website, worldeventsinthebible.com. I think you really should read that one. It's kind of what, the longer this goes on, the more that article is becoming so much more truthful, is collapsing everything. And then the World Economic Forum put out that teleconference, this whole project they had called the Great Reset, and we did a video on that as well. I think it's all tied together, and again, the more this keeps going on, the more that's seeming to be true, which I believe would tie into the Bible and the New World Order government that will arise. But before you can have a New World Order government, you have to have the current global structure has to go away. Just like in the 1940s, they established the IMF, the World Bank, United Nations, and so on. That was a new order, if you will, for that time. And now here it is, 2020, 70 some odd years later, and it's time for a new world order. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but I just wanted to point that stuff out to you. Maybe talk with some of your friends about it. Hey, how long are we going to wear these masks? How long are we going to keep businesses shut down? It can only go on so long, and then people won't have any money to pay their rent, their mortgage. We already see people in forbearance on their mortgage and rent. Let's see what happens at the end of July. Are they going to give another bailout package in the U.S. to give people, another $600 a week on their unemployment? Because if they do, a lot of people are going to stay on it. Some people are making almost $4,000 a month sitting at home not doing a dang thing. They're not going to go find a job. Most of those people aren't. I mean, come on. So let's see how long this goes. But, I hope this video has helped you out, and thank you so much for watching.